me one of our certified high trust coaches, Wayne Angelo, who's going to be doing an interview with us today. So good morning, Mr. Wayne.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So today we're going to be talking about the law of the hook. A captivated audience stays to the end. So Wayne and I are going to keep you so captivated that you are going to stay to the end of this broadcast. So to kick everything off, Wayne, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I've been in the mortgage business for about 35 years. I had my own mortgage company from 2000 about 2012. I lost my partner. And so we sold the company, and I'm a branch manager. I'm an originating branch manager. And I've just been doing this a long time, but I just enjoy it. I enjoy this business because you serve people. What we do impacts people's lives, and it's really important to remember that.
Yeah, absolutely, Wayne. And, I think that you're also one of our longest standing coaches for High Trust. Isn't that right, Wayne?
It's been about 3 years now. Yeah, I think when I got the call, it was a very humbling moment, and I'm very appreciative of that. Yeah, so I love doing this.
And it's very, very distinguished group of people that coach for High Trust, and that's very, very true. And when I say that they were, everybody was handpicked by Todd Duncan, that's true. At least the in the beginning, it was yourself, Teresa Odette, and a few others that but Wayne Todd will say now, he said, well, actually I picked the first few, Hope, and you've picked the rest of them. So, but nothing happens without Todd. So it's excited, and I'm really, really very happy, and excited when I got to get to know you, Wayne, what an amazing coach you are and how invested you are in everybody's success. So let's move on. So a captivated audience stays to the end. Wayne, in a nutshell, what does this law mean, and what does it speak to, and what would you say is why it's important?
I think that most people in the mortgage business go out there and sell. Mm-hmm. They go out there and act like a vendor. Mm-hmm. I remember I went to a seminar one time, and a guy wrote one word on the board, and it was GIMMEALOAN, which means give me a loan. He said, if every time you go out, you ask somebody, give me a loan, you'll get a loan. But I'm thinking, yeah, but I'm not going to build a relationship that way. Mm-hmm. So the law of the hook, it really goes back to the chapter of how do you build the business? How do you build your business? How do you get people captivated? And it really comes down to, and I love the book and it comes down to the 4 steps of the pyramid, Hope, when it comes right down to it.
Yeah.
Adding value first. Too many people go out there and try and get business, but don't add value. Mm-hmm. Second leg of that is the high trust interview. It's really a different approach to interview people than sell to people. So when I started, looking at the word interview, I looked it up, and it means to gather data. Mm-hmm. So you add value to the people you have targeted that you want to do business with. Mm-hmm. You then interview them to learn about them to see if you even want to do business with them.
Yes.
So if it's a right partner for you. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the hooky part where you get to know them, and the hard part is you have to listen. And I think salespeople talk too much and don't listen enough many times. Mm-hmm. The third part of the law of the hook is to bring back solutions. I think the hardest part, though, Hope, is that when people sit down for the interview part, they all only want to add solutions.
Yes.
And they don't really ask questions. And once you've done those 3 steps where you target who you want to do business with, you add value, you interview the person, you come back with viable partner solutions. In other words, are you partnering with these people, or are you vendoring with these people? Huge difference. So then you go back with
there.
The part, and then when you're done, those 3 steps, you ask for business versus the one guy said, every time you meet a realtor, ask for business. Well, you haven't earned that right. Hope, you just haven't. Oh. And so that's kind of what the law of the hook talks about, is how do you get people to partner with you? How do you become a trusted partner, not a vendor?
Mm-hmm. At High Trust Coaching, as an originating manager, Wayne, we're in a fire hose, business, have been, for several months, or actually the entire year. We don't see, an end coming anytime soon. So it probably will, continue throughout the end of the year. One of the things that we teach at High Trust Coaching is how to be leveraging this relationship and asking the questions when, even in a refinance. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you're coaching to that as well?
It's the law of the using this circle of influence. Mm-hmm. Every time that you are, I try and teach people and help people understand what's the best way to find your partners. What's the transaction? So the listing agent is very valuable to the transaction, a very valuable component. And the thing I really look for when I'm working in the business is when I'm interviewing or dealing with somebody, it's a two-way street. Do I want to do business with them is the first question I ask them. And
Yes.
I hate to tell this story, but I sat with a realtor one time and he looked at me and he says, Wayne, I'd be love to do business with you. I use Jane Doe at ABC Title because every once in a while she hands me an envelope full of cash. He literally said that to me. And I'm like, all right. I said, I'm not your guy. I
Yeah.
knew really quickly that I was done. That conversation was over and I was never going to do business with this individual.
Mm-hmm.
So what it comes down to is the interview part is getting to know them, getting to understand if this is the right partner for you.
Mm-hmm.
But during the process, like right now, we are slammed. And I'm not taking refinances except from people that I know,
Yes.
people I've done business with, or they're direct referrals from my database.
Right.
But I'm not taking phone calls. But during the process of doing a mortgage, I mean, we can go out to real estate offices all day, walk in the door and hope to meet people,
Mm-hmm.
drop off flyers back in the old days, do stuff. But what's the best way to meet people? The best way is through the transaction.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I'm working on a case for a self-employed borrower. He needs to get me tax returns. He said, I'll call my accountant and have my accountant send them to you. I said, how about if you let me call your accountant for you? And I'll call your accountant. And through the process of that, with the accountant, we'll have a quick discussion of, hey, Jim, I need to get this stuff from Mr. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why I need it. And so we can deliver a great experience for them. But
Mm-hmm.
if I let the client call the accountant, I'll never meet them.
Mm-hmm.
So the listing agent is so vital to building your business because during the process, call the listing agent right out of the gate, introduce yourself, weekly update calls, getting to know them, but really getting to look at them and say, is this somebody that I might want to do business with? And if it is, and you deliver an amazing customer experience to the listing agent, closes perfectly, I think you've earned the right to ask for an interview. You've earned the right to say, hey, I had a great
There
time.
you are.
I love
Okay.
working with you. I'd like to get to
Yeah.
know you better.
Yeah, exactly. We kind of lost video for a second. I apologize.
It's okay.
So it's very, very true. And I think that, it's one of the conversations that I have a lot right now with our coaching members and as a producing manager, are we having a conversation around those clients that are calling in for a refinance? Are we doing some level of an annual review? Are we asking them what's important to you about this mortgage financing, and maybe going a couple levels deep on that conversation? And and not most importantly, but third most important is asking them, do you know of someone else that would appreciate my level of service? Now, I've been talking to all of our master level people and they're telling us, Hope, I can't take on any more business. Earlier, you and I were having that conversation as well with regard that if they're not a past client that I've already committed to in providing service and or referred by a client, I have to turn that business away.
I do.
So
when I look
what does
back,
that sound like, Wayne?
well, I'm lucky, not lucky, but it's a business by design. My database of closed loan customers through my career is 1,600 people. And I stay in touch with them. I send them a very personal letter twice a year, talking about my family and things that are going on and what's going on in our world. And I do silly things like that, really. But I send them a very personal letter, 2 pages, talking about me, my life, my family, a little bit about business, but not much. And I don't want those people going anywhere else. They're my bird dogs, so to speak. They're the one that are pointing out business to me. So they're important. And fortunately, through the years of building my business, I don't need as many realtors in my world because I have the client database. And I really only pick a handful of realtors that want to do business the way that we want to do it together through an amazing client experience, which is the most important component of the process. But every once in a while, when I'm calling those listing agents, I'll find somebody that I'm like, I really like this person. There's something about this character, their character. There's something about who they are. They might be a reasonable person I want to partner with because I don't want a ton of realtors. I only want a handful of like-minded people that are focused on the customer experience. Rates are rates. I remember years ago, somebody, I think it's Todd, said, if you're going to sell rate, get up in the morning, call everybody in town, check their rates. If you're not the lowest rate, just go back to bed. So it's really about getting to know people, and that's the law of the hook. But the hook happens kind of both ways if you think about it. The The hook happens from people that say, you know what, I like the way Wayne did business. And I'm saying, I like the way he did or she did business. This might be somebody that over time I'd like to put in my book of people I want to be with. It's somebody I want to have a relationship with, so to speak, not just get loans as a vendor. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And what a wonderful way to do business. What a wonderful way to do business, to be working with people. And I know that's what we teach and mentor at High Trust Coaching, is to be working with the clients that you want to be working with, to be working with, having referral partners that you really love working with. And as you said a minute ago, having only a handful, because so much of your business, because you are leveraging and investing yourself in those relationships with your clients, that you don't need, you really don't need, 20 or 30 referral agents or realtors. You have the ones that you love working with, that love working with you, and that between the two of you create an amazing experience for the client that you're working with. Would that be true?
More so than I can even imagine. I mean, I don't want 20 or 30 realtors, to be honest with you. I want, maybe 10 realtors that we work together really well, and people that I can deliver an amazing experience with. But if I bring on too many people, and if I don't like the way they do business, it impacts the way that I deliver the customer experience. It actually can diminish my brand. If I work with realtors that aren't high integrity, that aren't high experience, that affects the reputation in marketplace. So yeah, I totally agree. If you have 10 strong realtors, and if you have more, that's great. Then you need bigger teams, et cetera. But if you have 10 strong realtors giving you 2-3 loans a month, you have a very, very strong business.
Absolutely.
And then actually the way Todd teaches, over time, the ones that aren't the real good ones, you can maybe let some of them go. And over time, find the ones through the transaction that you really communicate with well, that have the same mindset, add amazing, and maybe diminish not so amazing. Maybe take somebody who's not doing business very well, or they don't really care about the client. They're strictly transactional. And over time, move toward a stronger relationship-based business. And you'll be a lot happier in this business. I can tell you that.
My goodness, yes. Yes, that's so true, Wayne. So what would you say are some key challenges that our coaching members and most originators kind of fall into, Wayne, that we can speak to right now?
That's a great question, Hope. Stop selling.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I never, when you go out to an interview with a realtor and he goes, what products do you have? And I love to go through this scripting with my coaching members. Tell me what products you have, Wayne. And when I do this script with my coaching members, they start spewing products like right away. I'm like, hold on a minute. We all go to the same well for our product pretty much. There's nobody that has anything that's that much amazing, maybe a portfolio product. But if somebody says to me, what products do you have? My answer is going to be, that's a really good question. What products do you need in your practice? What products do you specialize in? Or, what are you looking for?
Yes.
Or somebody says, tell me about your rates. And I love Todd's canned response to this. It's a great one. Rates are very, very important. But before we get to that, let's talk about this. Or let's talk about what the components are that make up rate, or so many factors of it. But the hardest part, I think, for mortgage originators is to stop selling and interview. And I tell my coaching members that on their computer, put interview. The other thing in these crazy busy times right now, when we don't have time, I mean, it's nuts. I mean, my team is stressed. We're doing more volume than we've done in a long time, which we like. But at the end of the day, it's really about delivery. It's about service. Let's stop selling. Ask questions. Listen, especially in the interview part. Because during the interview part, you'll learn so much about these referral partners. And when you learn about the product that they need, they need jumbo, do they need govy? What do they do? What's their mix? How do they do business? Stop answering questions that aren't like, here's a silly example. My wife will say to me, what are you doing Friday night? That's not the true question, Hope. The true question is, me and Kathy want to go to the symphony Friday night. Are you okay with that? But she always starts with, what are you doing? Do you have any plans for Friday night? And I know after 35 years of marriage, I know what she's really going to ask me. But when you listen to people, when you're out doing your high trust interview, the question they're asking you is probably not the real question. It's probably a lead into the real question. So stop selling. ask questions, listen to what somebody says to you when they say, what product do you offer? What are they really asking? I don't think we know that answer. And every loan officer that is not in the high trust ecosystem goes out there and says, oh, we have this and we have that, and we deliver. My CEO said to me one time, and I love this, he goes, don't ever sell closing loans on time. Because that's a minimal barrier to being a good loan officer. That's a minimal expectation. Like when somebody says, if I have good credit, do I get a better rate? No. You have worse rate, you get a worse rate, but good credit's expected. So when you're out there talking to people, try and figure what they're really asking you with questions like, can you tell me more about that? Have you tried to solve this problem before? What's your biggest challenge? How can I help you fix it? And then the next part, Hope, and hard part for loan officers is shut up. Listen, literally listen to what, and then you will gather so much data from people that help you target if you want to do business with them or not, which is a big part. It's not doing business with everybody. Do you want to do business with them, and what are they really looking for in their mortgage partner? Does that make sense, Hope?
It absolutely does. And can you just roll back, a couple of lines? What were those 3 questions again? Those are beautiful questions.
I actually have them written down.
Oh, yay.
The questions I like to ask are, could you tell me more about that? How long has this been a problem for you? Have you ever tried to solve it before, and what have you done to try and fix it? I like this one too. Has it ever cost you any money?
Wow.
And ask people questions like that. And then, of course, Todd's question, which I love, is, what's your biggest challenge? And I can help you fix it.
Yes.
Because if you don't listen, this is like the law of the iceberg. If all you look at the tip of the iceberg and you don't get below the iceberg and get to know the person, to know it's a like mindset. Guys, in this business, you don't need everybody. And I remember when I started in this business, it was rate sheets and donuts. And then I went to Todd's seminar. My guess is 20, I've known Todd 25 years. I learned the law of reciprocity. Give. So what I would do is I'd go find articles of interest, things that were interesting to realtors or referral partners, and I would deliver information. I would just keep giving and giving and giving information. I had my name on it, said courtesy of Wayne Angelo. That's all I said. And I would go in and I'd give information, and then I'd bump into somebody I didn't know. Say, how do I know your name? Oh, you're the guy with all that information. The law of reciprocity in life. If you give, you get back tenfold what you give. So instead of going to being transactional, be a giver. Be a teacher. Help people understand how to get through things. It's not the what that matters, Hope, and you and I both know this. It's never the what that matters. It's the why. It's even in the transaction with the client. I need this, and here's the reason why. Mr. Realtor, I need this, and here's the reason why. If you take, I love it when Todd said this, and this is so true. You have to slow down and go fast. Slow down, be thorough, especially now, guys. If you're writing loans, just a suggestion, anybody writing loans right now, take an extra 5 minutes on every loan. Just stop. You're getting ready to submit a loan, take 5 minutes. Make sure you're presenting a beautiful picture. Slow down to go fast. The same with the high trust interview process. Think about that. Add value, interview, solutions, ask for business. That's a 4-step process, and it takes a little bit longer. It takes it longer than, hey, give me a loan, which takes like a second, and it's useless. Slow down to go fast. Stop selling. Listen. Listen to what they're saying. Try and find out what the core question really is.
Ask
what
questions.
Is the honest question they're asking you? Get to the core of it, and then bring back the solution. Does that make sense, Hope?
Absolutely, it does. And I would imagine, Wayne, that if you're spending, let's say 5-10 minutes with every client that you're talking to today in today's environment, you're on the phone with them anyway. You're having that conversation anyway. So why would we not make that conversation the most important conversation of the day? And I would imagine it would probably mitigate, fallout. People not, providing, documentation in a timely manner, and or just, not responding, or canceling their loan. So I would imagine that taking that 5 or 10 minutes extra time at the consultation piece of the conversation is probably going to eliminate and or at least at a minimum minimize the fallout on your pipeline.
Hope, the sad part is most people don't even know what their fallout is. That's why
Really?
metrics are so important in the high touch coaching world. Is
Yes.
Are you following up? I was coaching a young man who said, I haven't called my customers in like 2 years. So I feel really bad to try and call them and wish them happy birthday when I've never done it before. And he was uncomfortable doing it, just very uncomfortable. Because remember, if you don't remember them, they're not going to remember you. If you don't remember them, they won't remember you. So I said, look, if you're uncomfortable, here's what I want you to do. Just do some videos. Hold up your smartphone and do videos. You sent 37 videos that morning.
Yeah.
And got 33 responses.
Yes.
People he hadn't talked to. And he had it scripted. It's like, Jim, I haven't talked to you for a while, and I apologize for that, but I know today's your birthday. I was just thinking about that and want to wish you a happy birthday. And I'll tell you a story, Hope. On Facebook, I get hundreds and hundreds of birthday wishes on my birthday every year. I'm going to use the guy's name every year, Dan Berger. He's a commercial realtor. Every year, Dan Berger calls me on my birthday and says, Wayne, happy birthday. This year, he called me on my birthday because his wife and my wife go to church. He goes, hey, Wayne, what's your wife's phone number? I want to call and wish your wife a happy birthday. I remember one birthday wish on my birthday. Well, two, my wife, of course. But I remember, that one from Dan Berger on every year. And I tell this story. How do you connect with people? And if you don't have time in the world today to go out and make all the calls you want to make, but what's the biggest ROI in the mortgage business? The biggest return on investment is converting pre-qualified borrowers to buyers. So you bring them in, you spend a half an hour, you do the mortgage strategy, you get them all set up, you move on, you forget about them. Then you find out they went somewhere else because you forgot about them. So the biggest ROI is staying on top of the people that have been courteous enough to give you an opportunity to be considered as their mortgage loan service provider. They want you to serve them. They want you to stay in touch with them. And if you don't have the time, then block out 1 hour a week, block out 20 minutes a day, and do videos. Hey, Jim, just thinking about you. To your referral partners, it's a video world right now. And if you're not doing videos, you're missing great opportunities. So hold your phone up, personalize it, boilerplate. No, I don't like, I like BombBomb to a degree, but BombBomb is not personal. If you get a video from me, Hope says, Hope, I want to wish you a happy birthday today. It's from me to you. The impact of that is amazing. But people don't take the time to serve the people that have hired us to serve them.
Yes.
And I hope, does that make sense, Hope? Does that make sense where I'm coming
from? It absolutely does. And, I think a lot of the conversations we're having today with our coaching members is managing time. So I'd like to shift our conversation for just a minute to time management, because the very first thing out of our coaching members' mouths is, I'm so busy, I'm too busy. And so how is, I know we spend a lot of time on time management. We spend a lot of time on one-timing, auto replies on emails, really kind of running your business instead of having your business run you. Sure. So talk to me a little bit about how you are coaching our coaching members on time management in today's environment.
High Trust Selling, page 107. All right. Okay. Time blocking is not trying not to waste time. Time blocking is not a rigid declaration. Time blocking is not yellow Post-it notes. It's not a to-do list. It's not a quick fix. It is scheduling your priorities rather than prioritizing your schedule.
Yes.
Right? Predefining your green activities that are necessary for your business to excel. Green activities. And the best green activity is interpersonal communication between people.
Yes.
Incorporating green blocks of time into a daily schedule that helps you maintain a sense of predictability and certainty. An efficient way for your clients and team to remain apprised of your activities without you having to return calls and emails. So time blocking, we're slammed. Anybody in this business, it's a love-hate right now. I play golf, and I've often said, I love golf. I hate golf. I love golf. I hate golf. The mortgage business. I love the mortgage business. I hate the mortgage business. I love the mortgage. I hate the mortgage business. But at the end of the day, the behaviors. Do you even have a priority list of the behaviors in your life? Like Tuesday night is date night with my wife. Done. That's a behavior. And without permission from her for something urgent, it's a date. It's done. It's the way it is. No exceptions. So do you even have a priority list of things that matter to you Or are you just getting up every morning and figuring how you're going to get through the day? So the things that matter, staying in touch with your customers, making those phone calls to the people and looking at homes, staying in touch with them.
Right.
We've all lost deals by not doing that. Every one of us, unfortunately. Referral partners. Are you calling them on Fridays and saying, hey, Jim, you're probably going to show some homes this weekend. Do you need anything in preparation of this weekend for homes you're showing so that if you're ready, you can deliver the better customer experience to them by being prepared ahead of time?
Yeah.
Staying in touch with people, prioritizing. But I can tell you, Hope, one of the first things I do in a new coaching environment with people is, first of all, building a priority list of absolutes, things that you will do and you must do, but you have to start by knowing what they look like. And, I had a guy who hadn't taken vacation for years. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I said, look, you haven't had vacation with your family for years. You're making a lot of money. What should I do? I said, take 5 days off. Take Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, go away. And he did it. Matter of fact, he took a friend of his that couldn't afford to go. He hadn't seen in 10 years, paid his way, and they rented a house. He came back Tuesday and said, Wayne, that was amazing. Oh, by the way, while I was away relaxing, I came up with these following ideas. What do you think of them? Because when you step away, it's like I like to jump on my Harley and go for a ride. When I go for a ride on my motorcycle, I come up with some of the best ideas because I turn out the rest of the world. I tune it off. My wife and I took a weekend at a spa given to me by my team, and my cell phone, I left a message and I said, my wife and I are taking a disconnect weekend. Here's my mom's number. If it's urgent, she knows how to reach us. And come Monday morning, I had so many people say, Wayne, that's amazing. We're going to do that. I didn't lose a piece of business because I focused on what matters to me.
Right.
But Hope, the old rule, relationships are like bank accounts. If you don't deposit more than you withdraw more than you deposit, you go bankrupt.
That's right. That's
so
very, very
true. Yourself, are you building your relationships by investing in them? And the relationships that matter most are your family. One thing about high trust, Hope, it's not about how much more money you can make. That's a big part of it, of course. How much can you make? But how can you make it and still have a life? How can you work less and earn more? How can you serve the people better? How can you create an experience where people say, I want to do business with that guy? Not, I want to. I like the way they do business. How are you? Are you transactional or are you relational? And that's one of the biggest things I've learned in high trust. Are you transactional or are you relational? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And, one of the things that obviously that is cornerstone to what we coach to and cornerstone to high trust selling is building a business that is sustainable and scalable. So those are the two key words. And that's one of the things we want to, maintain focus on in everything that we do, all of our activities throughout the day. Is it sustainable? Is it I've created around myself sustainable? And is it scalable? And that's what we need to be thinking about, as we continue to move forward through this year and building our teams, building our support teams, our operations, our relationships, our marketing, all of those things, as we need to stay focused on those things so that we're just not in the weeds all the time. So Wayne, I'm going to shift a little bit. So you are a seasoned professional, as we talked about earlier. You're truly a master of the high trust coaching, of the high trust business philosophies and methodologies. You've been a coach with us, one of our longest standing coaches. Talk to me a little bit about coaching. Why did you decide to become a coach? How has it impacted you in your business? And just talk to us a little bit about what it's like for you to be a coach.
Well, it's funny. I was out with my wife when I were at a concert, and I said to her, it was a musical, and I said, everyone on that stage has coaches. She goes, how do you know? I said, anybody at that level has coaches. Tiger Woods has many coaches. Everybody that's anything has coaches. Every musician, every great artist, every great guitar player, every one of these people has coaches at that level. You want to perform at a high level, coaching is very, very important. You know what's really interesting, and I've been blessed that I volunteered a lot of time. I'm a junior achievement classroom volunteer. I've been teaching at the Board of Realtors for 25 years. To prepare to teach, you learn so much. It's insane. So what have I learned? I've learned a lot from the people that I get to work with too. I get great ideas from the people that are kind enough to let me serve them. So coaching is huge. It's taught me a lot. It's opened my eyes. It's helped me look around. I mean, right now in this crazy world we're in, if you don't remember your teams right now, You don't buy lunch for them. You don't say thank you. You don't treat them well. You don't do little things all the time. So coaching is not about me. It's about them. It's about listening to them. And coaching has given me so much insight and so much education and reading books and studying and, to prepare. It's just amazing. So again, truthfully, I'm not doing coaching for money because my mortgage practice is strong. I'm doing it because I love it and I learned from it. And I've been drinking the Todd Kool-Aid, so to speak, for 25 years, and it's great stuff, and it's amazingly insightful. And if you're not working on yourself, what are you working on?
Yeah, absolutely, Wayne. I can't agree with you more. And, obviously we're very, very grateful to you as a high trust coach. And, I am in the process right now. We are bringing on a minimum of 10 new coaches and getting ready for Sales Mastery that's coming up. If you haven't already registered, please be sure that you do. And, so I'm looking for new coaches, and I need right now, we want to gear up for about 10 coaches. Certifications will start in August. And so right now, if you are interested to find out if you qualify to be a high trust coach, I would love to hear from you. I already have 6 candidates that have reached out to me. So please do send an email to hope.foreman@hightrustcoaching.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. And we're coming up to the end of our time. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, Mr. Wayne. It's been a joy to spend time with you, and have an amazing week.
It's humbling to be a coach. It really is. It's amazing. I love it. I love Todd. I love Deb. I love the team. Coaching is mandatory if you want to run your business and not have your business run you into the ground right now, actually. My pleasure, Hope. Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely.